Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you again. And I'm super excited. Today we are going to start the week 4, which means uh, we have passed those 3 weeks with sleepless nights and balancing work life and game training. So we are happy to see you here again. Um, so Today we will start another new challenge, which we all know, or which is our day-to-day life. Uh, if you have seen recent e-commerce platforms or e-commerce are using our telegrams or Facebook or any social media, so anyone can buy or sell. So today we want to pick up one of them or one of the social medias, and we try to manage at least the things that we have seen. For example, if you want to buy a product from Telegram sellers, you have to go and search for multiple Telegram channels. Let me share my screen first. Okay. So that means from the channels that you have to check price, you have to check product availability, or you have to check its cost or price. So can you see my screen? Okay. With that, we have Etiomat as a client who wants to become this primary hub for these Telegram-based e-commerce activities in Ethiopia. And what's the real thing that, if you ask me, this Telegram business is, you have to have, if you try to buy something, you have to check at least with minimum 5 Telegram channels that provide similar products and check their pricing, compare the price with the price that's given, and also if some of the channels may have discounts, some of them may be far from you, some of them have free delivery, and some of them might not have this free delivery, or they have the delivery fee that may cost you starting from 100 to 200. It's according, maybe this might vary based on the location, the current location you have. And on the other side, even in companies like those who want to give loans for this small business, wants them to see who are really able to give certain loan. And since these channels are small scale companies or small scale e-commerce companies, they need some additional or loans from banks or any loan provider. So, but rather than the loan request, this banks needs a certain guarantee. So, for Ethiomat, we provide at least a basic thing, or it aims to provide at least a basic thing for these vendors to see this scorecard based on the interaction that they have on the channel, their visits, or something The customer interaction can tell you that this channel provides an items that are reliable if they liked it, if they view it, or if they give it something. That will be a data point that you can observe from the given data. So, what idiom in why idiom is necessary for this scenario? Because this think of the hassle that you have, like going to multiple channels, the time that you spend, and the energy that you lost there. So, in order to minimize that, idiom will focus on creating this centralized platform, and that platform would be help as an evidence for the loan providers to provide loan also for the vendors. So in this part, what's the essential thing or the project focus will be? You will fine tune in an algorithmic recognition models, or you can use the pre-trained ones, and you will try to extract business entities. That means product name, product price, location, if there is any image of the product, or any text or textual description, you can check that one. And some of the channels have English also, English description, textual description, or product description. Yes, both are possible, but in order to make more convenient for most of us, let's use either in English posts or Amharic posts, so it doesn't have any effect regarding to the doing things. But what's expected is you have to run a schedule um, script that can extract the data or the posts from those Telegram channels, and you have to clean and pre-process those data in a way that can be valuable for the Idiomat. That means since Idiomat wants a centralized uh, Telegram channel administration or database administration for this e-commerce site, so you have to provide this is the product that is provided by this channel, and its price is this one, the location is this, they have delivery or no. You can add additional tags that you have seen from the posts, and this post have X amount of views, this post have X amount of like or engagement tracking options that will be there. And the post frequency is the other thing that you can see from that one, or you can extract. So you will have the metadata of the posts that is posted on the Telegram channel. So this workflow will ingest your data, either whether you say you have saved it into database or into any CSV file. You can collect all those data, then you'll start to fine tune the model once you have pre-processed and labeled them. So the labeling will be in different format, because this LLMs or large language model wants a structured information to learn from the what's there. So you have to provide at least these are the example, either zero shoot or one shoot transfer learning. That means either you have to give certain examples for the machines to learn from what's there and to start predicting what will be the next from the data that you are given, or for that you have to label the data in a way that it's labeled for this named entity recognition purpose. And you can fine tune these transformer based models. And for this, it might be still, I know it might be challenging to fine tune that because of resource, but I would recommend you to use either Colab or Kaggle. Once you have done the data collection, just move data collection, pre-processing, and labeling, just move your data to Colab or Kaggle, and you can fine tune those models. And what's the other things, the key objective that you need to do is just what's the approach that you validate your models. That means you have trained X model or you have trained Y model, but what's its explainability? Can you say this result is due to this change or that change? So you need to explain that as well. And as an additional entities, you may have this product name, possible entities, not additional, possible entities, material or ingredient description, location, monetary values or price tags, or delivery fee, or any contact information will be there. And as I have mentioned earlier, these post views and post engagement would be the other entities that you can extract and save. So these are the sample data which is collected from this Sugar Online store. And these are the example data sets that is labeled for Amharic named entity recognition, and most of them are focused on news-related data. So we need to have additional things that can tell our specific scenario. That means those models that are trained on news data or other domain of financial data may relate to the financial thing only, and some news might not have this financial information appropriately as we want. So we want to block that one with the data set that we have and the knowledge from the pre-trained texts that are here. So you can use this as, in addition to what you have scraped and labeled, you can use this also as an additional training set to get better results. So on the labeled product, this is the how you are going to label, because this is the beginning of the product. This is a three-piece silken brush, so it's a product name that it will indicate the product, and this indicates the price. These are set to others, so you can have this as a location as well. So you will try to label the data that you are going to collect into this format. Then you can start fine tuning the named entity recognition model. So at the end, why we are expected to do this, just to be able to handle these Amharic text, tokenization, pre-processing techniques. In addition to that, how can we fine tune and adapt these large language models for named entity recognition task? And since this is an essential part, and on the other side, you can have this model comparison. How do you evaluate the performance of performance metrics using either F1 or precision recall, evaluation mechanisms, and also your model interpretability. So the learning outcome for this is listed here. So you will learn how this data will be collected, or real-time data is collected from Telegram channels, and how you can standardize labeling scheme with the calling format to the text that you have collected, or the information that you have collected from the Telegram channels, and how can you adopt these large pre-trained language models. For example, you can use either XML Roberta or MBERT. For how can we use these pre-trained or large pre-trained models into the downstream tasks, because if you see XML Roberta, it's a natural language understanding, but it's not fine-tuned for specifically for this named entity recognition. By named entity recognition, what are the entities that are representing a certain team? So you have to be selective enough to identify this is a product name, this is a location, this is a price tag. So that's one thing. And also, how do you evaluate and how do you implement this model interpretability, and how you can articulate the connection between the solution and the business objective? So this is how do you translate your solution into a business objective questions. And as usual, we will have our team or the facilitator team here, and the key dates will be the challenge introduction, the interim submission. So we have moved the interim submission to Sunday, and the final submission to be on Tuesday, 24th June. So the key instructions here are divided into the following objectives. That means how you can collect data and pre-process them, and how you label them for named entity recognition purpose, and how you fine-tune the existing named entity recognition, and how you can compare this with different models. So for task one, you will have a data ingestion and data pre-processing step where you have a list of channels, and from those channels you have at least to select 5 channels and fetch the data from those 5 channels and start working on that. So the first is identifying these relevant channels. So we have a list of channels here, so you can select any of the channels there, and you can implement this message ingestion system. That means the script that can collect text, image, documents that are posted on real time. Then you will pre-process the texts and tokenize, normalize the Amharic linguistic features that is there, and you will structure and clean everything that's in unified and acceptable format. Then, so the next step is storing this either in a suitable format, whether you call it on JSON or you call it on CSV format. You could put this together and you'll start labeling that. On task 2, what's expected is to label this dataset into a calling format. It's a standard format for named entity recognition. So you can label this as this type of entities. Then you can start, you can save this as a plain text format. Then you will start fine tuning the named entity recognition model. Then I would recommend to use this Google Colab for the fine tuning purpose only, because mind you that Colab have rate limits, so time rate limits. So try to finish the extraction and the labeling part into your local machine, and then go to either Colab or Kaggle. And any of the models that can suit you, you can explore them, but these are the examples that you might use. And once you have retrained and fine-tuned the model, you will compare the results that you get. And the model interpretability is the other tasks that you are going to do, which is what the interpretability of the model that you have now, and how it's giving the prediction, how certain it is. So is this MPT, is it correctly giving you the confidently giving you the result, or is it giving you through random match? So you will explain that within this either shape or line, and the other and the last task will be, so this is the additional task that you need expected to do just for the to show this vendor is eligible for micro lending. So what are the information that you might have? So as I have said earlier, you have extracted the posts and the things that are related to the items that you want to buy. But in addition to that, you can add additional features on your extraction scripts that collects the key performance metrics that includes the posting frequency of the channel, the average view per post, or the top performing posts that have the client engagement or any emojis there. You can extract, you can add these features to your extraction, and you can have this vendor analytics engine to score or to give a lending score by combining these metrics into one. So the score will be the average views times it's 50% and the posting frequency is 50%. So based on that, you can calculate the score out of 100 and you can give the lending score for each vendors as a scorecard. So that will help Etiomars to give an evidence for banks or for micro lending companies. This score will be help them as a credit score for the company and as an evidence for them that this vendor will pay if they give X amount of money. So this is the last task that you are expected to do. And what will be the interim submission will be a GitHub code that shows your work for task 1 and task 2 and one page summary of what you have done on this for the interim period. So you can include that one into a PDF format. And for the final submission, it will be as usual a PDF report and also a GitHub code that contains all the tasks that you have done. And these are a couple of reference that you can have, but I think Paperspace will ask you for payment, and we might not use that one as well. But definitely, I would recommend to use either Kaggle or Collab for this specific challenge. So, is there any question? Is that clear, everything? Okay, if it is clear, don't get overwhelmed as much as you can. Try your best to deliver what's asked and what's will be expected from you. So since this data might sometimes the fine-tuning part might not looks great because the results might get here and there and it's not satisfying. So don't get overwhelmed with that. As the data grows or as the trained data grows, your accuracy of the AI model was also increase. So keep that in mind as well. ماشي. I'm Damkel.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
I, uh, I just want to clarify some concepts from this
Okay.
lesson. Uh, I have seen to jargon words for me.
Mhm.
So if you can you explain to me? So the first one is what actually mean fine tuning,
Mhm.
and the second one is transformer based model. What's the difference from the other models?
Mhm.
Because everything is will be depend on these two keywords.
Okay. Let me start with the fine tuning part. So both are linked to each other because these transformer-based models, the one that we are going to use, or the modern AI models that go beyond the training on features or transforming this the learning capability that humans have. That means humans can listen, humans can read, humans can respond. So in the previous times on the machine learning models, we only give pre-crafted features for the machines, like if you are using this either a decision tree or any machine learning forest, random forest, you have crafted features and you will give, and based on that, it will try to see patterns and try to respond for you. However, this transformer, especially for model for AI design, in a way to understand language, natural language. It means for human sense, we can read, we can listen, we can respond. So those transformer models are built on top of this concept. And for example, we have the early ones, we have BERT, we have Roberta, and XML R that contains a models that's trained on massive textual data, which is a book or Wikipedia, and all the LLMs or the large language models that we are using today are built on this, on top of these transformer models. So while they are improving, they might give you better and better results because previously we doesn't have that much digital data, but now we have more digital data, and now that's why LLMs become more helpful for English primary users. And when it comes to Amharic, we don't have too many resources with the language, or we don't have this much information, digital information in the language specifically. So those models might get incorrect answers or might give you incorrect reasoning. So how this LLM learns, it depends on how we learn or how a child tries to learn new things. So they can start by doing this and that, and they will step by step go to the level that we want to get them. So LLMs also need these data points for to learn or which is LLM. When I see LLMs, it's similar synonym to transformer models. So what's the fine tuning space step means? That means if there are a pre-trained models in many of textbook, social media data, Wikipedia data, or any other information that is found on digitally. And these models are trained on that one, like let's say BERT or XMLR or MBERT are trained on that. And you want to use these models for named entity recognition. That means specifically recognizing entities, specifically seeing informations from a certain point. So when do we say named entity models, that are computers that reads a text and identifies a specific type of information, which is called those entities. Those entities might be the product name, those entities might be the product price, or those entities might be a location tag. So in order to identify this information, you have to fine tune the existing large language model, or the one that knows books and how Amharic or how English works. It have at least the basic semantics and syntax of English language, but now you are trying to go beyond the understanding of the basic things to solve a specific tasks. When you came to fine tuning, you are trying to solve a specific task Let's say last time we have done this for sentiment analysis. So we used the general model and we fine tuned that one for the sentiment purpose. Or we have extended the models, we have used the models that are specifically trained for the sentiment analysis purpose. Now the same works true for this case. Since we are trying to identify entities, we will going to fine tune the existing models into for the named entity recognition purpose to find what are the entities that we want. So for that, how we can do uh, the model, as I said, the model already knows the syntax and the semantics or the grammar and the structure of the language. So, but it doesn't know how to spot these products and price or location from the Telegram message specifically. So you have to have a level data set for that that will tell them this kind of information might related to price, this kind of information might related to location, this kind of information might related to product name. So based on that examples, your model try to adjust itself to predict what comes next when you feed new post information. So it will identify this is the entity that's for um, what you call it product name. This is the entity for price. This is the entity for um, location or telephone number or that have additional things, the additional things that you found on the post. Is that clear or did I make it more complex?
Clear. So I'll finish the rest by reading it by chat.
Okay. If it's clear, good. But if you have something, you can share on Slack also. We can go through it. Any other question? Is it clear? At least are we clear that where we can start today if you are about to start the challenge, what will you are going to do? Yes, Kaggle have a free GPU, but it have also time limits, so use it wisely. Any question? Okay, I hope all is clear. Let's um so have you done data version control? First, let me ask you back. This way you can write it or you can unmute and talk. But when we show you something that's a tool, let me say, we have shown you GitHub workflows. So to install your workflow or either to your requirements or unit tests to be included on the GitHub Actions. That means all the weeks we are expecting to have that set up for you because these are the mandatory things. Those workflows will help you to show what you have done on the GitHub Actions. So it's mandatory for the data version control question. As I have the same thing. If you see how to fine tune models, it doesn't mean that to leave it here and go to the next step with a new idea. No. But if you have used, let's say, Git, and you got like something which is unexpected change on your codes, and previously you have pushed your data to the GitHub, and now you can easily revert back to that version and work on the task after the accidental change, or so that will help you at least disaster recovery thing from the Git side. The same is true for version control. If you have this data version control in all your machine learning model lifecycle, that will be helpful to understand if, let's say, we are streaming data from Telegram to your data storage. So sometimes some data might have some biased content that will bias your model performance. So you need to identify that and you need to discard that. For that purpose, if you have this data version control, you can easily point out the model performance and the model dataset, and from that reference you can go and take the data and you can discard easily those data that have these defects. On the other side, having this data version control will help you to control the data that you have. If you put them into one bucket, that means it's becoming large and large, and it's not easy to maintain. So data version control will help you in that regard. If you have done that last time, please extend that to this week challenge as well. Yes, you are expected to either to label it manually, or you can write a script to label that one. It's up to you to find a solution for the labeling method, because we know that labeling, if it's a manual labeling, it will going to take time. So we need to be smart on that one and to find a feasible solution with respect to the time that's given. Any other question? So we are all aligned, so we can start the challenge tonight, and we will have a certain progress regarding to that challenge. Okay, thank you, Sumaya. Thank you, Daniel. Thanks again. Okay, nice. So thank you everyone for joining.